and welcome back, disc golf friends, to Par Save Productions coverage of the 2018 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. This is a disc golf pro tour event. We're here round 3, back 9. We have a great grouping today. I am Nate Doss. With me I have Ben Kroll. We're here on hole 10, par 3, 450 feet. This is a new hole for this year's Ledgestone Insurance Open, and we've seen quite a few different types of shots on it. It is 450 feet, pretty basic, Ben, but we've seen players throw air shots, rollers, sidearms, all kinds of different things here. So one that I think the players would expect to get if the wind was in their favor, but one that if you miss, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I think you just want to give yourself a chance here. There's OB on the left. Looks like Gregg. Nope, didn't quite get there. That's good.
We could just slightly hear on the video Gregg celebrating after that tree hit. He was looking like he was going to go long OB, and that's something we haven't seen with the roller, is one go long yet. Josh got OB. The players are there. The fans are looking at it, and it just never flipped over, Ben.
Yep. Right there's not too much of a problem, but you can see there's some trees, so you don't see a ton of hyzers here. People are trying to either throw that roller, look like Ricky did, and he's giving himself a putt.
Yeah, you can see the flags in there, and you're right. That hyzer shot is probably not the safest play, as the OB is on the left, and that's why the roller is one of the more popular shots here. We saw 3 of the guys throwing it. Long run there by... Oh, Ricky hit a little branch there. Looked like it kicked his putt down. He wasn't happy about it. Gregg. Oh. Gregg definitely wanting that one to go in, and here's Josh. Nice putt for Josh. That's a bogey for him. And if you're just joining us and you haven't watched the front 9, well, go watch it. But Josh Anthon is not playing well in this round. The other 3 players are having a nice round up to this point, and we'll see who can kind of take the lead dog role in this group as we are in moving day of the 2018 Ledgestone Insurance Open. These players looking to that last-ditch effort to make themselves a factor in this year's event. We will see these scores, Ben.
As you see, Gregg, Ricky, and Matt all getting their pars. Josh going OB on the left, getting his bogey 4. And hole 11 here, 300 feet. There's OB on the left, OB on the right, OB long, but you want to get this hole. You know, this is one you really want to get your birdie on. I think a lot of the players are expecting to give themselves a chance on this hole.
Well said, Ben. We're going to see... If I were to guess, we're going to see, of course, Matt Dollar throwing his park job thumber, and we're going to see 3 more sidearms here. We might see a backhand from Josh, but a 300-foot sidearm is for this caliber of player, Ben, I would say, something they should get quite easily.
Yep, and you can see the green there. It was starting to look a little brown. I heard the greens were getting a little faster as the weekend went on, and Ricky skips OB here.
And Josh does me a solid and throws a sidearm there. I was right. We saw 3 sidearms, but I think you made a great, observation there. The green is drying out a little bit. We're seeing a little bit more skip, and Ricky will get his par there, no problems. But really, sort of a really errant shot for Ricky Wysocki off that tee.
Yep, and everyone else here should be tapping in their 2s, and birdie's what you want here.
Definitely, this is a hole that they're going to want to get. We will see 3 other birdies on this hole. And these guys will be making a long walk up and around the creek and over towards the water tower hole, which we'll see next. Matt Dollar with his bucket hat on. Nice birdie, Matt.
I like his style.
Staying out of the sun is very, very important in these hot, humid summer days.
Some swirly vultures.
That's right, Discraft is back and better than ever. We thank them for their sponsorship of this event. Here we are, hole 12, the water tower hole, par 3, 354 feet. This is an island hole, is the easiest way to explain it. A hole that can add up all kinds of strokes onto these players' scores. And Matt Dollar playing safe and keeping it short. It's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, I think I've seen other coverage. He's been doing that every round, I believe.
Ooh.
Oh, Gregg, what a great shot. Bullseye hit right in that 5-foot range. He'll like that.
Yeah, and the crowd saying it for us there. Oh, yeah, that was a great shot by Gregg. He'll be happy to have a tap-in birdie on this tough hole. And Josh throwing a nice shot as well. Josh being a little up and down today. You know, obviously we saw him take a quadruple bogey earlier in the front nine, but, you know, it's either been good or bad for Josh. So hopefully he can kind of straighten it out here on the back.
Oh, no, not a tree hit there. That kept him from getting back inbounds. Looked like he had a chance.
For all you fans back home, I really want you to pay attention to what Matt Dollar is doing. Matt Dollar is prepared properly for this event. He knows how he's going to play the shots, and he's going to live or die with it. And I'm really happy to see players doing that, and I'm happy to see Matt doing that, confident with his putting ability and his ability to throw a great round.
Getting his par like he wanted to. I have to mention these Discraft banners, and we didn't say it on the water tower either, but they look really nice. I think they add a depth to this this course.
They do, and we did thank Discraft at the beginning of this hole, but you know, they've really stepped their game up, and we thank all the sponsors of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, of disc golf in general, but Discraft has really done a good job here, along with the tournament staff, Nate Heinold. They're doing a really, really nice job. Josh not happy. That easy putt. We don't see Josh miss a lot of those, and Gregg with the tap-in birdie.
Yeah, I think like we talked about before, Josh may be just getting a little discouraged at this point in the round.
It is something that we did talk about, and I think Josh has done an okay job, but that frustration is only going to continue to build as we get closer towards the end of the round. Take it away, Ben.
Here we have hole 13. This is going to be in the long position, 1170. That is 1,170 feet. This hole is a monster. I think we've heard Nate say himself, he wanted people to try to play this left gap. You're seeing a lot of this right gap here, getting over the water. But this is a long position, another 100 feet almost past the short position. And we didn't see a ton of fours, I don't believe, on the weekend.
Yeah. Good explanation there, Ben. You know, this is a monster, and there's a little bit of a headwind. So the players really, at the end of the day, I don't think they really care where they end up off the tee. They just want to be over that water, and then they can work their way up the fairway from there. But ideally, the players had it their exact perfect way. They would play down the right side of the hole the entire way because there's no trees out there. But with today's wind, I think we're going to see these players having to play up the left side more.
And that puts that left OB into play, and that can be tough. A lot of righty hyzers will fade away into that OB. And Matt hitting this tree, I think he stayed safe.
He did stay safe. His disc almost went nowhere. Gregg taking that same route, getting a little bit more wide and high, but we can see, and I know this for a fact just because I played this tournament and been playing disc golf for so long, that headwind is really affecting these players. When you get a high headwind shot, you can see Josh's disc didn't go very far. Ricky playing up the left side with a sidearm. I think ultimately a par is going to be pretty good on this hole for these players, especially with it in that 1170 position.
Yes, I agree. As you mentioned with that headwind, it really makes the disc stall out when you have to give it on a hyzer and put a little air under it, and that's why you're not getting that distance you normally would want to.
Yeah. So now we've seen these players. Sort of that was the third shot for Matt Dollar. He would be doing good for himself to save the par here. Gregg throwing the big sidearm, putting himself in position for an upshot to try to get that par on this hole.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a ton left. Ricky going aggressive with this roller.
Good camera angle there. Ricky's actually rolling out by where the short pin is on this position, which is down by that branch and that tree over there. But he is about a 90 or 100 feet short just because we know the difference between those two baskets.
Josh also going aggressive with the roller, it looks like. It's hard to get a putt. I guess we didn't get the end of that result. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, and you know, I said this in the previous coverage, but I really like that Nate Heinold and the tournament staff have added in these other basket positions. giving these players something a little bit more to think of. And, they provided these baskets for the players in the practice rounds. Boy, and Josh finding an OB that we didn't even know was there really as commentators on the left side. Really, it was on the edge of the circle there, Ben. That's pretty close.
I think it looked like it was inside the circle. That's just mean.
Yeah, that is mean, and we haven't seen that in our coverage yet. We haven't seen any players find that, but Josh was in that bush and did find that OB. So a bad round getting even worse. Josh won't be happy with that.
These guys all laying up, just trying to get their pars, not being too aggressive with that downhill slope.
Yeah, you can really tell how severe that slope is with the fact that, we saw Matt Dollar just lay up for his bogey. He's going to take a bogey on this hole. So.
Oh, that's right.
You can see this is a good camera angle of how severe that slope is. We're going to see just some tap-ins here. And we'll head over to the 14th hole. But at this point, Matt will bogey there. But I think Matt's had a good round. Barsby's had a good round. And we'll see if these guys can really make a move here on these last few holes where we've seen a lot of birdies in the previous round coverage.
And Gregg's sitting at 14 down, 5 down on the round. He's feeling pretty good right now.
And here we are on hole 14, par 4, 805 feet. One of my favorite holes in the course. Really, it's a demanding shot off the tee and a demanding second shot. About 400 feet each hole. If you threw 400 feet, you'd be 5 feet short of the basket. And that's what these players are looking to do. Throw a nice little 400-foot downhill skipping shot, just like Gregg's done. Put himself in a position for the big hyzer over the water.
And if you want to give yourself a shorter shot for your second shot, you're putting that OB into play with the lake on the right side.
Yeah, in my opinion, Ben, there really is no such thing as an aggressive shot off of this tee. I think it is more of a position shot. Put yourself right there down at the base of the hill, just like Ricky's done, and then you're going to have to throw a big 400, 450-foot shot off of the next tee.
Matt getting that extra distance. He'll have a shorter up shot here.
Nice shot for Matt Dollar. We haven't seen him play the aggressive line almost on anything, so it was nice to see him do that, and he executed it well. This is a great perspective. Yeah, this is a great perspective, though, Ben. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but great perspective of how far he is away. He's well over 500 feet.
And I didn't see an OB out of bounds, so I don't know. He might be in. We'll have to make a group decision again.
He did have the opportunity possibly to skip off that water and get up onto that rock little kind of edge of the water there. He might just barely be in bounds. Ricky throwing the big hyzer, and that was way too wide.
And he won't be moving up the fairway very far.
No, he won't. And we can see the ripples on the water. The headwind is affecting these players. So maybe a par here on this hole 14 is a good thing. Matt just outside the circle. He's hit a few of those. We might see another one from him.
Yeah, in the front nine, he was definitely lighting it up with that putter. And Ricky looking wide, swinging it in. And that'll be just fine.
Yeah, good recovery shot. There's something about the third round in every big tournament. There's always there's always more stress. As you get closer to the last round, the stress is ratcheted up, and we've seen it in this group with mistakes that we would not. Oh, boy, good run there by Matt Dollar, just going out of bounds, or just missing there on the left side.
And here they are, making the decision. You can see a little bit of that disc was not in the water, and I think they called him safe.
I think you're right, and I think Josh just solidified that with a big, big birdie putt. Josh needed that to just sort of kind of keep his round from just sort of going too far down the drain. He'll work to get some birdies coming in on the finish. Ricky with a smile there after the bogey must have been a little joke by Josh Anthon. These players do play a whole heck of a lot with each other, and it's always nice to see our players enjoying what they're doing, even though we are in a high-stress position here in the third round. So that's nice to see.
I think that's one thing Ricky's really well known for, too, is just keeping a smile on his face and not letting things affect him too much. Not in the next shot.
Yeah, I agree with that. Ricky's an intense player. He's always a guy that I love playing against because I know I'm going to be doing good at that point. But it is always nice to see that big smile from Ricky himself.
Thank you to all our sponsors again, getting us out here, able to see this live, this edited coverage. We have hole 15 here, OB left, OB long, OB right, 315 feet, but it's uphill. Here and it plays closer to 370.
Yeah, Ben, good explanation there. You know, there is a mandatory on that big tree just on the right there that was in our view. So these players are forced to go around that big tree. Really a nice sidearm hole. If you have a good sidearm, you're going to give yourself an opportunity. 315 feet is the length of a hole that the players do want to get, but as you said, it does play longer than it looks because of the uphill.
We saw Gregg sneaking inside the circle. Couldn't really tell where Matt ended up. Maybe on the right side, maybe just outside the circle.
Yeah, let's see what Ricky can do here. Well, obviously a strong sidearm player. Looks like he's got it on a great line. Does he have the D? And yes, he does. That will be a birdie for Ricky. I bet money on it.
Easy money.
Josh, this is just simply a layup, trying to get it close. No stress. Get your par, move on to the next hole.
Oh, Matt running it in for his birdie.
Look at this, Ben. This is great to see. He knew it. It wasn't even nearly there, and he was already running it in. Nice putt by Matt. Another long putt by Matt. Diggity dollar.
I like to see him get back on track and Gregg matching with his birdie putt.
Absolutely. Nice job there. So we're going to see 3 birdies on this hole, which is awesome to see. We will head over to the 16. These guys have good feelings. Josh I know Josh well enough to say this. He cannot wait for this round to be over.
Yeah, I think we've all been there before. It's a tough feeling to have, but you just got to keep sticking to it, like you said. Just finish it out.
Here we are, hole 16, par 4, 666 feet. Eagle opportunities here, possibly even at 600 feet. We see the players throwing rollers. Bushes on the right are thick, bunkers, OB on the left. Do want to thank Airborne for their use of the drone. Thank you, Kale, and your whole team. We'll see Gregg Barsby on the tee, having the honor.
And there's that late Mando as well, too, keeping you left. They don't want you thrown over that street there, it looks like.
Yeah, in fact, they have multiple Mandos down the right side because they just basically made each power pole a mandatory. There's Matt Dollar's disc right in the middle. Nice shot from Matt. They just don't want you playing over that road, avoid any type of, incident with another vehicle or something of that nature.
This is a very aggressive roller here by Ricky. Let's see how far he can get.
That's that eagle opportunity I'm talking about. You can see he's rolling up right on the next group that's at the basket. Josh has always been a great roller player. And here for Josh. Missed that. Oh,
I wanted to see that finish.
I think we all did, Ben. Wow. I think that would have been right up near the basket. So that's unfortunate for Josh, and he might not even know that happened.
Matt getting himself an opportunity there just outside the circle for his birdie putt.
I do want to take a quick minute, Ben, and congratulate Josh Anthon. He did have his second child. Well, of course he didn't, but his wife did. And that's why we haven't seen Josh on the tour over the last few months or so since the West Coast swing. So congratulations, Josh, and we're happy to have him back on the tour as one of the world's best players. But here's Ricky's drive. Here's that eagle putt we're talking about.
You look content to lay up there. You don't see that out of Ricky very often.
You're right. That's a good point, Ben, because we do see that this is a slope, and Ricky's gone a little long here.
I hate to see that.
Yeah, I think Ricky hates seeing it more than we do. But of course, you never like to see any type of missed putts at all. But, that's really a mistake by Ricky. That was, I mean, easy money for a player of his caliber. So unfortunate to see that.
Gregg throwing his birdie 3 in as well as Josh. That's a good birdie to get.
Matt Dollar was hiding behind the tree there. He's almost the same color as a tree. Par putt for Matt. So players played this hole pretty well, actually, I think. We saw a couple birdies and a couple pars. That's okay for this group. We'll head over to the water hole here on 17. And here is that.
And this is
par 3, 300. I stole that one from you, Ben. Sorry about that. We'll let you do 18. But this is one of those clinching holes. This is one of those holes you have to know the distance. You have to have practiced the course. You got to just have a confident stroke. And Gregg Barsby's doing that with the sidearm here. And he was short.
Yep, see the OB there. That's not what you want. It only looks like you have about, 25, 30, maybe 40 feet from the water's edge to where the sidewalk is.
Yeah, I think it's not even that much distance. I think it's closer to that 25 feet, that first number you said. It's a small piece of land. And when we see these players go OB, we will see them proceed directly to the drop zone. The drop zone's about an 80-foot shot. And nice shot there by Matt Dollar. But yeah, it's a tight green.
I think sometimes it makes it even tougher when you see your first two guys off the tee not get in bounds, and then you have to take a shot. And Ricky making that look easy right next to the basket.
Yeah, it's always hard to not pay attention. Josh is choosing to re-tee, and we're not sure.
Interesting decision.
Yeah, not sure of the decision, but this just goes to show you Josh Anthon is one of those just unconventional guys that's going to do something that we would all not normally do in our lives. Gregg actually going to the drop zone, throwing a nice up shot.
And that's why we like seeing Josh back on tour. He's a fun player to watch.
He is. Josh is, always going to keep us guessing. Big putts, long rollers, just crazy shots, burnout drives, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, Josh hasn't played well today, but, I'm sure we'll see Josh become a factor as we get closer to the World Championships, which is what all these players are looking at right now, coming up in about a month's time.
Yep, there we go. Matt Dollar making it look easy on his 20-footer. Gregg wanting to match. Gregg here trying to tap in for his 4.
Yeah, Gregg did go OB off the tee, just barely, but that's a bogey. That kind of derails what he had going, which was, I think, the best round of the group at that time. We will see here on the scores, but yeah, just an unfortunate bogey there for Gregg.
You see there are a couple bogeys, a couple birdies. Gregg's at 6 down on the round, Matt's at 5 down, Ricky at 3 down, and Josh at 3 up. And that brings us into hole 18, 711 feet, OB Lake on the left, OB Road on the right. You'll see a lot of different shots here. I think there's a Mando as well too, right off the tee, so you stay left of that tree, and green's falling right to left the entire way. Very tight here as you get up to the green, and you see a lot of rollers, you see a lot of air shots. I haven't seen anybody take that left to right over the water yet though.
Yeah, you would really only take that shot if you were crazy, but we have seen Mazat throw that shot. Amazing. And wow, this is a killer roller by Matt Dollar. That is the best we've seen, and maybe the best we'll see in the entire tournament. Nice shot by Matt Dollar.
And then never even got back on edge. That was a great position there. Got as much distance as he could out of that disc.
Yes, unfortunately, these players are wishing that they were doing a little bit better, and that maybe tomorrow they'd be walking off the screen the champion. But, you never know what can happen on Championship Sunday coming up tomorrow. But these guys want a really solid finish here. Finishing on a high note will give them confidence. Gregg's pulled out a little bit to the right. Not going to be a problem, though. It holds that angle, comes back into the middle of the fairway, and beats out Matt Dollar, proving that it is possible to do it twice.
Those are two terrific rollers. You saw Ricky there getting down to the left side. Looked like he stayed in bounce. These guys are all going to have good up shots, and Josh, he doesn't want to be outplayed by their rollers, trying to get even more distance here.
And even better for Josh, that left side is much more open, even though it is closer to the water. He'll have a more of an open shot. You can see the same view here from Ricky. That was 4 really, really good drives on hole 18.
And this is that tough angle of green, and looks like he rolled out of bounds. That's very unfortunate for Ricky.
Super unfortunate, and it shows the difficult and challenge of the Lake Eureka course. Nice shot by Matt Dollar.
That's great, throwing a putter up there, keeping the angle right underneath the basket.
While these guys throw their upshot, I do want to take this opportunity to thank everybody watching our coverage of the third round here, Parsave Productions coverage of the third round of the Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. We want to thank our players for playing so well, giving us all that they have. And I want to thank you, Ben, for joining me today. Super fun. Nice birdie there by Josh.
Yeah. It's been a great time. These guys are really fun to watch. There's been some really cool shots out here watching Dollar throw all those thumbers. A lot of big putts. Unfortunately, Ricky not able to finish with his.
Yeah, and as we know, this tournament is already in the books by this time, but, you know, we do look forward to Championship Sunday tomorrow, and whatever group we end up watching tomorrow will be fun. We'll love it. We'll give you all we have. But these guys played this hole really, really well, besides that misfortune by Ricky. But great job, guys. That was our back nine coverage of the third round of the Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft.
Nice hanging with you, Nate. Nice talking with you. Fun round there. Greg shooting 7 down, Matt shooting 6 down, Ricky 2 down, and Josh 2 up on the round.
You as well, Ben. Enjoy.
Yeah!